Do you really need warm up? Should you do stretching in the warm up? What should be the duration of your warm up? Hello everyone. So to get answers to all your questions, let's directly begin the video. So to begin with, let's divide our warm up into three parts: general body warm up, stretching and mobility, and specific body warm up. So the first thing many of us do in the gym is general body warm up, which include treadmill, cycling, burpees, spot running, high knees, skipping, etc. पर क्या ये सबको करना ज़रूरी है? Answer is no. It's beneficial in winters. It cuts us away from the daily hassle and prepares our mind for the workout. It's also helpful if you want to burn some extra calories. It's also beneficial if you work out in the morning, as our body was in the state of inactivity for almost 6 to 7 hours. बट अगर आप चलकर जिम जाते हैं और आप एडवांस या इंटरमीडिएट एथलीट हैं तो आप ये स्किप भी कर सकते हैं. Other half of the general body warm up is shoulder warm up. I included this into general warm up as we use them in almost every movement, whether it is pull, push or legs. It includes some overhead movements with band as we don't move our arms overhead much in our day-to-day life. One of the most important muscle group you should not ignore is external rotators. Do light intensity 10 to 15 reps for 1 to 2 sets. You can do internal rotation as well, especially if you want to do arm wrestling in your workout. Don't do it with dumbbell as force vector is not working on the rotators. Apart from this, you can do other movements as well with the band. After band, you can do some scapular retraction or depression to get better scapular control in the movements. And if you are intermediate to advanced athlete, you can also do 1 or 2 set of bodyweight pull-ups, dips और push-ups. इससे हमको ये पता चल जाता है कि किस मूवमेंट में कितनी जान फील हो रही है. So I recommend to do shoulder warm-up for everyone. Now moving on to the next part, that is stretching or mobility work. You can completely skip this part if you don't need it. But let me tell you few examples when you should do stretching. For example, before doing handstand or handstand push-ups or muscle-ups, you can do dynamic stretching of wrist joint if you feel tightness in your forearm. You can also do dynamic stretching for hamstring and glutes before your squat session if you feel tightness in your lower body. You can also do foam rolling, but keep it short. Stretching is dependent more on the muscle group you trained yesterday or day before yesterday and less on the muscles you are going to train today. Similarly, you can do dynamic bicep stretching if you did planks yesterday and your bicep feels tight and sore. Don't do static stretching of the part that you are going to use in your workout. For example, you should not do a split routine before your heavy squat session. You can do static leg stretching after your leg workout. But you can do static stretching for the unrelated part that you are not going to use in your workout. For example, if you have upper body warm up today, you can do static stretching for the legs in the beginning. Now let's begin the last part, that is specific warm up. It's the most important part of the warm up. In this, you warm up the specific muscle group you are going to train. Keep this as simple as possible. For example, if you want to do dips first, then start with 8 to 15 bodyweight reps, then do 2 to 3 warm-up sets and start with your main sets. Similarly, do with pull-ups and squats. Do all your reps with near maximal effort so that you can train your CNS for the main set. तो आपको अब तक पता चल गया होगा कि आपको अपना वार्म अप कैसे स्ट्रक्चर करना है. So let's take few examples so that you can understand it better. So here we all four are going to do different workouts. So let's see what warm up we use. Tushan did some skipping. We three skipped it because मैं just अभी कॉलेज से आया था और ये दोनों चल के जिम आए हैं. तो शांत को हैंड्स एंड पुशअप्स करने हैं, कविता को पुलअप्स करने हैं, मेरे को प्लैंक्स करना है और आशीष को स्क्वाट्स करने हैं. So we all did shoulder warm up. I did muscle up, as advanced athletes can do this sometimes. Then comes stretching part. Kavita didn't require any stretching, so skipped that part. Tushant is going to do handstand push-ups, so he did some dynamic stretching of wrist joint. I'm going to do planks, so I did some hamstring and glutes warm-up so I don't get any cramp in between sets. Now let's focus on what Ashish is doing. You can see in squats that his external rotation is limited as he did dips yesterday, so his chest is little bit tight, and because of that rod is much away from his wrist. While doing squats, most of the weight will be shifting away from his wrist joint. So we did some dynamic stretches for the internal rotators, and after doing that you can see that now the bar is coming directly under the wrist joint, so his wrist will not be loaded much in the squats. After that we started our specific warm-up. Tushan did some handstand presses, I did planche leans, tuck planche hold, and Ashish started with barbell squats and slowly progressed to the weight he wanted to do in the main sets. Kavita did some banded pull-ups and then started her main sets of pull-ups. So I guess most of the part is clear to you now. Now you can apply this in any type of training. For example, if you want to do sprinting, in general body warm-up you do brisk walking or running, then you do lower body and upper body stretches if required, and in the specific warm-up you do some sprinting drills or squats or jump squats to warm up your lower body muscles. Similarly, if you are a regular gym goer, you can do general body warm-up if required, you can do stretching if required, and then directly start with the specific warm-up. You can do more warm-up sets in compound movements, for example in squats or deadlift, and only 2 to 3 warm-up sets in isolation exercises like lat cooldown. So before ending the video, I would also like to explain you about the cooldown. I generally don't do cooldown and I don't feel any soreness or recovery problems afterwards due to adaptive responses of our body. वैसे भी सबके पास इतना टाइम नहीं होता कि जिम के बाद 15 मिनट cooldown को टाइम दे पाए. But there are few instances when cooldown is really beneficial. For example, after high intensity workouts, sprints, training which require explosive jumps, high intensity endurance training, heavy volume workout for squats, and also cooldown doesn't mean that you have to do stretching for 10 to 15 minutes after the workout. अगर आप चलकर वापस घर जा रहे हैं तो it will give you the same benefits of the cooldown. I tried to cover all the points in this video. Still you have any doubts, you can ask in the comment section below. So that's it for the today's video. Also share this video as much as you can. Meet you next Sunday with the new video.